Yeah.
You got Bama, NC State, Purdue, and UConn. With the exception of NC State, I don't think the other three are massive shockers by any means. I mean, Bama has put quite the run together. Purdue's shutting a lot of haters like Mark and I up. I mean, Edie still did draw, like probably 15 penalties.
He was getting fouled though. I mean, dude, he's a problem. There's no easy way to deal with him. Same with Burns from NC State. Like, bigs are back. Bigs are so back in college basketball. They're hard to deal with, and if you have the right one and they know how to, you know how to build around them, it's tough. So Alabama to me, all year they did not play really great on defense, and then they've strung together really a great streak of games where they're playing some good offensive teams and they're hanging in there. And obviously they can score and they can shoot the lights out. And Alabama shoots the ball well, and I really think they could win this thing. Like, that's how good of a team they are. Grant Nelson, where the hell did he come from? That's the kind of stardom just in March that you can create a star out of nowhere. You beat a team like UNC, you have a game like that, all of a sudden people are talking about you. And then DJ Burns with NC State. NC State shouldn't even be in this tournament, man. They got lucky on a buzzer beater to even continue their ACC tournament run, and then they had to win the ACC to get in. And here they are, in the Final Four. Purdue and UConn, not surprises like you said, but let's look at the matchups and see like what you think is going to happen here in the Final Four, because I think NC State and Purdue is an interesting matchup because you got Burns and Edie.
Right, two bigs. The big
two bigs.
Yeah.
I anticipate NC State's magical run coming to an end because Zach Edey is going to be able to just he won't have to leave his feet to defend Burns. Mm-hmm. And they're both nimble enough where one of them is going to get in foul trouble early. And it's probably going to be Burns because Edey's that's what he does. He draws fouls. And when he's on the bench, it's going to be Purdue kind of running away with it. I just think Purdue's a little bit bigger and longer on the outside as well. Yeah. Now, I do think NC State has better guard play overall, but I think Purdue is able to take care of business and go to the final. And then I think Alabama has to play. They have to shoot the ball better, even better than they have been to beat UConn. Like, they have to shoot the lights out of it to beat UConn. I just don't see that happening. UConn beats Bama, and then I think UConn takes care of Purdue with ease in the final. That's what I anticipate happening.
Yeah, no, I think both of those are accurate. So that's exactly my prediction, and I think you outlaid it perfectly. My brackets, I have two of them. One that we filled out on the show. If you want to go watch Mark and I fill it out and see how stupid we collectively were. Mark made some bold predictions that did not age well, and I was pretty.
You were high on the Huskers.
Yeah, shooters.
Yeah, shooters. They lasted 0 rounds.
Yeah, neither of those aged very well. So our bracket was sufficiently busted, really. At the end of the first round. Shocker, but yeah, that's where we're at with that. Last thing that I want to mention while we are on the topic of basketball. We started, filming this episode. I don't know what, nothing crazy, 20 minutes late, but that's because there was a sporting event going on that, I haven't watched a whole lot of women's basketball in my life. And yet it seemed like every dude that I know that watches sports had this game circled on their calendar for the past few days. And we all collectively watched it and had our freaking minds blown by Caitlin Clark, who scores 41 points. I was eating dinner, and I think in a 10 to 15 minute span, she hit 3 long threes. It was insane.
I don't even have the words to describe what she's done. Like, I'll be honest with you, man. Like, take this what you will. It takes a lot to get me to want to watch women's basketball. It's just, when you compare it to men's basketball, it's two different sports, man. Like, they just typically do not compare in terms of excitement, in terms of scoring, in terms of athleticism. It's just a fact, okay? It's an anatomy fact that men are going to be more athletic typically.
Yeah, and I don't even think we need to make it about that, because what she's doing for the sport
that's what I'm saying.
That's
what I'm saying is, and for a long time, it's been like that, right? And generally that is what it is. And if you try to say otherwise, you're just trying to be politically correct. It's not. What she's done is she's opened up that debate, dude. Like, she's must see. Like, I'm watching Caitlin Clark over a lot of NBA games. She is, what she's done in her sport, and her, like, it's as good as anybody we've ever seen in their opportunity. College athlete, pro athlete. What she's done in 4 years at Iowa, she's transformed the game. She's making people talk about the women's college basketball sport. it would. I mean, she's going to go to the WNBA and make the WNBA relevant. People, I mean, the ESPN is pushing it down our throats to try to advertise these two sports because, frankly, they're just not big hitters. They lose money, right? For being honest,
right.
She's changing it, dude. She's doing it like she's
that
a
had to be one
star.
of the most watched women's college, probly easily.
That's going to be more watched than a lot of the men's games. You know,
dude, I don't
don't get me wrong. No, I'm saying college March Madness. I'm saying that game that we just watched probably will be more, you know, I don't know, maybe the 15th or 20th most watched game in March Madness, men and women's combined. Obviously, the top 10 or 15 games are going to be the men. It's just, again, that's reality. But the fact that they're in there in the mix,
it's awesome.
It's awesome, dude. And that's honestly, it's credit to her, man, and credit to her team and what she's done and the name she's made for herself. She is playing ball like Steph Curry, and we just haven't seen it. We haven't seen it in women's basketball before. And she's revolutionized the sport, and she's providing inspiration for it to continue to grow. It's pretty damn cool. Like I respect her as much as any athlete out there right now. Seriously, like she is incredible like I said, what she does. Incredible
is insane. And so, and you got to love a good revenge arc, obviously.
Oh my God,
knocking LSU out like that had to feel so good. So, stoked for her and excited. I'm sure Iowa's not going to have too much trouble getting to the finals. And
I want to see him win it. Obviously, this was like the big one people had circled. The revenge is. You know, it's a great thing to watch that. And when you get to, because it would have sucked to see him lose again, you know, because you know how LSU handled the win last time. It wasn't exactly the most respectful way to her. Right. And I think people were sick of hearing about her. And Angel Reese, and credit to LSU last year, they were sick of hearing about Caitlin Clark. And they made it known, like, we don't care about you. We don't respect you. And Caitlin Clark went back in the lab 1 year, works on her game, works on the team, you know, chemistry, gets back to that opportunity, and they make the most of it. 41. She hit 9 threes. You know, let's talk about the threes weren't exactly just like gimme threes. She was hitting step backs,
long
NBA range, dude. Like long threes. Like she's different, dude. She's different.